Here we are with another episode of the Ride More Talk Less podcast. Today I got Sammy with us. Seth was too hungover to co-host, so he's staying home. And I have a feeling that was in no small part to Mr. Ben Adams, Squirrely Ben, that's hanging out in the background over here. I think it's your fault. Sammy, I've been looking forward to this, actually. I've been wanting to have a good conversation with you and figure out who you are for a while. So why don't you go ahead and give us just a quick introduction, who you are. And
my name's Sammy Cunha, and I'm from Portland, Oregon. Grew up here my whole life. I lived in the desert for a while, and that's where I kind of got into motorcycles.
In the desert?
Mm-hmm. In El Paso, yeah. My dad's from there, so he was a big motocross racer, and then he got run over in the air.
Oh, fuck.
And he almost lost his leg, and I was never allowed to ride. But I grew up watching dirt bike races, and then I would sneak away and have my friends teach me. So,
awesome.
Yeah.
Those were where I cut my teeth too. My dad raced scramblers in the 60s.
Okay.
And when I was a little kid, before I'd ever really... I think that I let the clutch out on a motorcycle maybe once or twice and didn't really get very far. But we went to Clark's Branch Raceway, and my buddy brought two bikes, one that he was racing and one was a spare. And they put me on the spare bike, which was like a 400cc two-stroke.
Oh, wow.
And like 2 minutes later... I was out there ripping wheelies up and down the gravel road. They waved me onto the track, and I raced my first day on a motorcycle.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and I was 10, 11 years old, and I raced 500 open class.
That's crazy.
I didn't come in last.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah, I was
that's
happy with
really
that.
good.
I'll tell that story sometime in full. But yeah, that's a good spot to cut your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely is. Still not happy. Dad's not happy about it, but he's learning.
Yeah,
it's learning to be.
You're always going to be daddy's little girl,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and anything that's not safe is going to be
Oh,
stressful for him.
Yeah. We just got him a motorcycle, though. So.
What's he got?
We gave him my first motorcycle, which was a Yamaha Virago 250, and it's super tiny for him. And he rode it for like a month and then gave it back. And now we're trying to send it to him again. It's
Nice.
Like, get the fuck back on it.
So you're off the Virago. What do you have now?
I have a 98 1200 Harley Sportster.
Nice.
And we're going to chop it at Legion. Yeah, next week, hopefully.
You going to start cutting into it next week?
Mm-hmm.
Like right before riding season?
Mm-hmm.
That's scary.
I know, it is scary. I'm kind of freaked out.
Yeah.
But
So you going to hardtail it or?
I don't know. We're going to look at it and see what would be practical.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I have 10 to 15 men telling me 10 to 15 different ways to do this.
Well, there's a million ways to chop a bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's never easy. It's never fast.
No.
You know, I would recommend and this is just another guy giving you an opinion. and that's terrible. I feel shitty.
No,
But
no, it's fine.
I would start that project at the beginning of winter.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I have all the parts, and it's been sitting there, and I'm just like, okay, maybe I'll do some of it, and then ride. This is like my final tour with this bike. I think this summer will be its last run, so I really want to make it, you know, where I wanted it to be like 3 years ago.
Yeah, totally. Just
Before.
yeah. My only advice is don't make it to the point where it's completely unrideable without a day's work.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so we're on the same page.
We're on the same page
you're
on
just
that
gonna
level. Yeah.
regret it all fucking summer. You're gonna be like, oh, that fucking hardtail kit hasn't shown up yet, and I haven't ridden in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. No, I can't do that. I already went 3 months without riding, so.
Yeah, that's not okay.
No, it was not okay. It was really bad.
It's been a rough fucking winter. You know, I've been through a lot of winters in Oregon. I've ridden through a lot of winters. This winter has just been fucking dismal and depressing.
And hard. I feel like everything's been really hard for everybody, like
Yeah.
emotionally.
Like it's fucking February. That's it. That's it. It feels like it's been a year and it's only February.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been tough. But, you know, we're all moving along.
You're all
Summer's
moving
on the
along.
horizon.
Sun's out today.
The one show's over, and that's kind of the
Over.
turning point where things start to get better.
And there's hope.
There's hope.
Like maybe I can ride soon every day. I feel
So
like,
looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Definitely too.
So
Therapy.
what do you do?
What do I do?
I know you're over at Legion,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm going to be interviewing them soon.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you give us a rundown of what you do over there?
I'm helping them with their new bar. We're opening a bar, and well, it's open now, but we're trying to get a good cocktail program running and host events there to get riders in and see the space. My focus is to get girls in that shop and make it less of a boys club. I think it's awesome that it is a boys club, but right, I would love to change that, and I know Alex and Gabe want to bring more girls in too. So I'm hoping to just have some events where girls can learn how to like work on their bikes, service their bikes, meet each other, go on rides, have a glass of wine or a beer, whatever, and just hang out.
It'd be nice if you guys got more technical than some of the dealerships do.
Yeah.
I worked at a Harley-Davidson dealership for a few years, and one of the things that they would do were these, like, they called them garage nights for ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one that I saw, they literally just, they taught a girl how to pick up a motorcycle. And I'm like, yeah that's important, but I feel like we could get a lot deeper than that. Like, I teach them how to change their oil, to teach them how to check their tires. Yeah. Show them what a fucked up brake cable looks like, Yeah,
I want to go beyond even, like, doing oil changes. I want to go into, like, because I want to learn how to do, like, electrical work and, like, how to tell when you need to, like, change your belt or adjust your chain or things like that. Just, like, there's simple stuff, but it's things that are often, like, overlooked or not taught.
And that's the kind of stuff that kills people on a motorcycle.
Yeah, and it's like simple things that will kill you. Yeah. So it's really important to be like, oh man, I have like a really bad leak here. I have this that I need to do. And a lot of people don't notice. Like when I went on my last tour with a bunch of girls, there were a few where I was like, hey, your chain's about to snap. Like, did you have this serviced? And they're like, oh, I mean, no, my boyfriend looked at it. He said it was fine. And I'm like, you should be able to tell if something is like, wrong.
Yeah,
I would love for you to know how.
Totally.
And
I see that on the runs. Like, so we were doing Oregon run a few years ago, and there was this girl who was on a completely bald tire. Threads were starting to show. We were still, 50, 60 miles from getting to camp. And I was like, you need to call somebody. That tire's not going to make it to camp. And she's like, oh, this mechanic down in L.A. told me that I was fine to do this whole ride this weekend. She's like, I'm not worried about it. Like, I'm here telling you, looking at the tire. I've got a tire at home I'll give you for free if you can find somebody that'll mount it. Yeah. And she's like, oh, no. Sure enough, tire blew 20 minutes later. Yeah. And her bike got stolen because she left it to go find somebody to help tow it out. Yeah. And it's as simple as just looking at your back tire. And knowing what a bald tire looks like and what that means, and knowing that a motorcycle tire isn't like a car tire, it wears out a lot faster.
Just basic stuff. I want girls to be able to like have someone or have a space to learn, like, oh, I need brake pads. Right, like I don't have any anymore, I'm going to fix that. So
and even if they don't want to do the work themselves, being able to look at it and recognize what the problem is, so that when you take it to a shop, you're not getting run through the ringer. Exactly. You're like, I want new brake pads, and they're gonna be like, oh, well, you're gonna need rotors and calipers and blah blah blah, and then you just like, you check out, you're like, no, I don't. Actually, I just want brake pads.
I looked at this and no, yeah. So that's kind of our goal, is to like host more events and hold space for females in a way that's like, I don't know, I think it's intimidating to go to a motorcycle like clubhouse or shop or whatever as a woman and not feel uncomfortable or feel like you're going to be talked down to. And like, I would really love for Legion to be that safe spot where anyone, you can just go there any day and feel like at home, And I think Alex and Gabe do a really nice job of making that a space for everyone,
Yeah, that's good to hear. I get that impression from them. Yeah. But as a guy, I don't have the same viewpoint. So I don't really have that point of reference. I feel like they're very inclusive. I feel like they're doing all the right things. But outside looking in and being male, it's impossible for me to know for sure.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. That's why I'm there. I'm like, I'm the girl.
Like, I'm gonna tell you what's up.
or call one of them out or someone out if they're being not so nice.
Yeah, you ran into that before.
A little bit sometimes, yeah. Yeah. It's never that bad, but you always, as a woman, have to deal with, especially at a bar,
At a bar and in motorcycle culture.
Yeah. There's some interesting folk.
Yeah, there's some real old school thoughts about what women are in biker culture, and that's changed a lot, but a lot of people haven't recognized that it's changed.
Yeah. And I think they don't, I have to explain, like, hey, I actually do ride, and I have put miles on a motorcycle, and, I am an experienced rider. It's something they always overlook. Like, oh, what do you have, like a little 250cc?
You got a little Honda Rebel?
Yeah, is it like a scooter? What is it? Or they don't even think about it. Like, oh, did you ride with your boyfriend? It's like, no, dude. Let's go out together and see. Let's go ride together, and we'll see.
Yeah, I'll show you how it works. Yeah.
We'll see who keeps up. But overall, I think it's a good space, and I think we're gonna make something really great, and I'm excited to work with them. Yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been riding then? You mentioned that you started.
I've been riding about 9 years, I would say, like, seriously. And then as a kid, I would just sneak away on dirt bikes whenever I could. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I started riding pretty seriously in, like, the end of high school. And for me, it was just a form of therapy. Like, I remember when I went on a tour with a boyfriend of mine, ex-boyfriend of mine, and I was on the back, which I hated being on the back, but we were on this, like, open road, and I just let go and, like, laid all the way back. He was going pretty fast, and it just felt so good. Like, it's that moment where you feel nothing and everything at all. And I knew then, I was like, I have to do this for the rest of my life, and I have to have my own bike and ride. And, like, within 2 weeks, I had, like, bought a bike and was really serious about getting good. I purposely bought a small bike. I bought that little 250 so that I would spend time developing my skills before really touring, and I wanted to feel comfortable. And then I did that for, like, 2 years, and then I got the Harley, and I felt like I got my horse,
Nice.
After I got that thing, I couldn't stay away. I was always, like, going anywhere I could and exploring and camping and living off that bike.
You did it right. A lot of people, they'll go to the dealership and they'll look at a $5,000 250, and then alongside it is a $5,000 750 sport bike.
Right.
And you're just like, oh, well, why would I just, like, blow all this money when I could just get this now and just grow into it?
Yeah.
And that concept of growing into a motorcycle is pushed by dealerships a lot. It's like, oh yeah, no, buy the bigger bike. You'll grow into it. You'll be fine. Just to make the sale. And it's not true. Like, they've never ridden with you. They don't know who you are.
And also, it's funny, like, culturally, because I have, like, French and Mexican and Syrian background, but in all of those cultures, whenever you start something, whether it be, like, cooking or any new venture, you always start on the bottom with, like, the embarrassing, like, pan or whatever if you're cooking, and they make you work. Like, you're at a low level, and then you build up to, like, where you want to be, like, your dream. And I've always kind of, like, admired that way of doing things, in the sense that it forces you to work 10 times harder, and in that process you're so like dedicated to what you're doing that I feel like you become stronger in that,
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah,
a lot of cultures have that kind of practice. America is very easy button on shit.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh yeah, no, buy this now, buy this now.
Yeah, I want it now. I want it now.
Come in, buy the bike, buy the jacket, be the biker. Like,
yeah.
And it's just not how it works. You gotta go out there and put the miles in, or else you're just gonna fucking die.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm a big thing, like, earning your respect and, like, earning the level that you're at,
Absolutely.
So I made myself suffer, and I got made fun of a lot.
I bet.
Being a girl with a small bike, it sucked everywhere I went. Oh my God, I got teased, but
yeah,
But
that's part of cutting your teeth, though.
Yeah, exactly.
When I got back into riding, and I had picked up this little Honda 750 Twin.
Yeah.
It wasn't much of a bike, but everybody gave me shit because I was on a Honda, and they were all on Harleys, and they all were at least 1,340 cc's, and I was at 750. And by the end of that first year riding with those guys, they were having trouble keeping up with me on my 750.
Yeah.
Because, like, I made it a point. I was on that bike every day. I put the miles in. I went out and I found the twistiest roads I could find. And, like, I watched videos and I learned how to put that thing through a corner.
Yeah.
And eventually they couldn't keep up with me, even though I had half the motorcycle they had.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The knowledge is power all the way around.
Knowledge is power.
For sure.
And I don't know, just being on, you're still on two wheels, and you decide what, you make of it what you will.
Absolutely, yeah. So I'm gonna bring something up now, and then I'm gonna ask you again at the end.
Okay.
Okay. So we did this with John Gardner, but we tried to get him to answer right away.
Okay.
I want you to think about your death row bike. Like, if any bike could just magically appear in front of you right now.
Oh God.
It's not your only bike. It's not the one that you're gonna have for the rest of your life. Whatever. It's that dream bike, and just think about that, and I'll bring it back up later.
Okay.
Okay. So you're serving drinks now.
Mm-hmm.
What did you cut your teeth on? Is that what you usually do for career stuff, or?
I've worked in coffee, and bartended forever. I did go to college. I studied international studies. I had a focus on Latin America and Africa. And I wanted to do something with that. I wanted to do photojournalism, I suppose. But then I got out of college and realized that it's very hard to make money as a photojournalist.
It's hard to make money with a degree.
Yeah, with a degree in general, and I made way more money bartending than I would even working for the government with the basic degree that I had. So I always just stayed in like the food service industry because it allowed me to have a ton of freedom. Like, I could make a bunch of money and then I could take time off to tour. And so it ended up sticking. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
It's hard.
I work these shit jobs. I have a degree in emergency management, which is all, it's logistics and planning, and I've got some crazy certifications in anti-terrorism and all this weird shit.
Yeah.
And I apply that towards putting together the Oregon Run and stuff. So when I'm doing planning and logistics for that, I'm going through like all of my FEMA certificates and like managing volunteers and doing top-down infrastructure for support and things like that. And it's fun putting that knowledge in someplace useful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. And, like, I'm trying to utilize what I gained from college, like picking up writing again and, like, actually, photographing all of the things that I'm doing. Like, a lot of the tours that I've done, I didn't even bother like photographing or writing or like putting them on the internet, and now I'm realizing that's actually really important. Like you should be doing this, and like you can actually like make a somewhat of a career off of it if you like take the time and the effort to. That's
something I've always missed out on because I'm usually spending so much time behind the bars that when I stop somewhere I don't think to snap a picture.
Yeah.
And I've got hundreds of thousands of miles on motorcycles at this point, and I have my Instagram is full of like me shooting BB guns and riding mini bikes and stuff. It's none of the places that it's just the shenanigans of once I get there.
Yeah. I'm like I'm 28. I feel like I should be really good at Instagram in this like technological world, but really I'm just learning it, and I'm like I feel like a grandma. Like my 10-year-old sister is teaching me how to like hashtag correctly. That's the world I'm living in right now, but it's so important. I
fucking suck at it.
Yeah. I fucking suck too.
I finally figured out that stories are kind of where it's at right now.
Yeah.
Like, that seems to be where people pay attention to stuff.
Yeah, because who reads anymore? Right?
Yeah, and so I started doing the podcast, and before the podcast, I would just put stuff in my feed, and get a couple of likes or whatever. And most of my followers had like 200 or 300 people that were following them, and I was like, oh, cool, so these people like they've got about the same number of followers that I do. And I started doing the podcast and I started posting stories, and literally the next day I woke up to 20 followers, and they all had like 10,000-15,000 followers each, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta up my Instagram game. I gotta figure this shit out.
It's also a really cool way to meet people. Like, I have met so many of my like lady biker friends through Instagram.
That was how I met Riley the other day. Yeah.
It was literally just like a message like, hey, you ride. I think you seem really cool. Would you like to go meet up for coffee sometime? And I feel like some of my best friends have been made through the internet, which is weird to say, but it's kind of magical because it is this like open space that allows you to kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, like the initial like meeting of the person, you get to filter it. Like you get to look at their shit and be like, oh, they do this thing that I definitely don't like, and I don't want to meet that person.
Yeah.
But then when you find the people that you do click with, it's like, yeah, maybe that meeting isn't super organic, but then the people that you meet through them are all people that are in that same group, and you meet all them organically, and those relationships develop pretty normal, like quote unquote. Yeah, it's interesting. I'm learning. It's getting better.
Get better.
Yeah. Did you hear about the thing that Adam and I did at the one show?
No.
So we did a thing on Instagram through Oregon Run. It was called Find the Adams, and we wore our Oregon Run sweaters, and we ran around and had people just grab us and take selfies and then hashtag It's the Adams.
Oh, that's a good way to do it.
Had people I had no idea who the fuck they were. Just run up and be like, I have to get a selfie. And other people would walk by in a group and they'd point at us and be like, it's the Adams. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? This was a joke at CC this morning. This wasn't supposed to be a thing. Yeah.
Wow, it got to be a really big thing.
Yeah, next thing you know, we had 30 or 40 people following us around sometimes. It was fun. It was weird, but it was fun.
It was. That space was crazy.
Well, for the one show?
Yeah.
There was so much going on. Yeah.
It was huge.
Having the races there was cool. The big thing that I noticed was that nobody was really stuck in the races and nobody was stuck looking at bikes. There was constantly people flowing back and forth, so it never felt crowded no matter where you were.
It is true.
Yeah.
Except in the coffee booth.
Yeah, I'm sure working in the coffee booth had to be a pain in the ass.
It's like a legal drug dealer.
How long were you stuck back there?
I worked 8 hours straight last night, and it was nonstop. There was a line around.
And was that what you were doing today? Was working the one show?
Yeah, working the one show, and crying a little bit.
Yeah, crying's good for you.
Yeah, and now I'm here.
Awesome. Yeah, it's good having you here. Learning a lot about you. You got a really cool past. It's rich. It's fun.
Something weird.
Next big motorcycle trip you want to make?
I'm going on a big motorcycle trip in April. I'm riding in Vietnam.
Whoa.
Yeah, my childhood dream come true. Yeah.
Nice. You doing a group thing?
I'm going with my best friend Sally. She's actually never ridden before.
Oh.
So I'm putting her on the back of my bike. We're going to buy a bike there, and we're riding from Ho Chi Minh to Hanoi. So it's going to be wild. We have 2 weeks, and I think it's 2,300 miles.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It's going to be insane.
I had a friend of mine who's a lawyer in town who did that recently, but they got a group of 10 people together and did a group rate.
Okay.
And it was really cheap.
Yeah.
I could have done it.
It's super cheap there.
Yeah.
So, and we ended up, I've wanted to do this, I don't even know, since I was 12. But my friend found tickets for $500 round trip.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it was the second I saw it was right before my birthday, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do it.
How much does the motorcycle cost over there?
I have heard mixed reviews, but I think you can get a decent one for $400 or $500.
And then just sell it again when you're done?
And then sell it again when you're done. And I've also heard from people who have done this before that if you break down pretty much anywhere, there's little mechanics who just wait for someone to break down on the sides of the road. And then they just kind of run out to your bike. And then they'll be like, oh yeah, I can fix it right here. And they'll just fix it all up, and then you're on your way again. It's awesome. Pretty amazing. So
when you do that, you come back. I'm going to make you listen to this.
Okay.
And then you give us the real rundown of what happened.
I'll give you the real,
there.
what really happened.
The motorcycle turned out to be $3,000, so we sat in a cafe for 4 days.
They sold me this hunk of shit.
Yeah.
And it broke down every 2 seconds. I was watching Top Gear. Did you ever see that episode where they go to Vietnam and they get some shitty scooters and motorcycles?
Yeah, and they have that big American flag scooter thing that's following around, yeah.
And I forget who it was, but he doesn't even park it. He just throws his Vespa on the ground.
Yeah, that was a
can't
great
figure out the
kickstand.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be the feeling of part of this trip. It's going to be
intense.
It
looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, every time I see anybody who's doing any kind of motorcycle tour there, I just get awestruck. I have to do that.
I bought I bought 5 film cameras and over 50 rolls of film for this trip. I'm actually gonna try and document this. This will be the first tour I'm really serious about.
Nice
recording. Got a GoPro.
Yeah, take notes.
Legit.
That way you can remember it's hard when you go back and look at the pictures, the emotional experience that you were having when you stopped to take the picture.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, that was always a disconnect when I would go back and look at the pictures later and then try to describe what was going on in that moment. Why did I choose this spot?
Yeah.
What was it that was leading up to here that made this view so fucking cool?
Yeah. And I wanted to like I want to convey to other people those moments, you know, those pieces of like your trip that are so intimate, you know. I want them to feel that too in some way, so it'll be nice to like go at this in a different way and just like snapping a photo. You're like, okay, this moment right here, I'm going to try and capture it, and hopefully that maybe will inspire someone else to like go on a ride or do something great, you know, follow their dream.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's important. And that's why we're here, right?
That's why we're here.
I think that's a big part of the human experience, is helping other people that may not have that same kind of thought process. Like,
yeah.
And it's like, you're in an office like all day, every day. Why?
Why?
Why? What are you doing there?
Yeah.
You know, if you're not building towards something that's going to make you happier, then there's no reason to suffer all that time.
That's how I've been feeling that a lot lately. Like,
yeah.
Life's too short.
Yeah,
I feel like you should enjoy it as much as you can and do what you love.
My plan is when I turn 45, I'm going to try to get that 20-year retirement job. But until then, you know, I'm just going to keep working these shitty Joe jobs and taking all the time off that I want and just making the best out of it.
That's all you
Spend a
can
lot
do.
of time on my motorcycles.
Yeah, that's the dream. Whatever I can do to be on the road, be pretty nice.
Yeah, it's hard to explain to somebody that doesn't do it what that experience is like being on the road.
Yeah,
it's impossible to put into words. I mean, there's the cliches of, oh, it's freedom, oh, it's like flying, but you know, the only thing that I can come close is when I was snowboarding a lot, and you had those moments where you would just disconnect, and it was just like you and the mountain.
Yeah,
you know, it's similar to that, but it's so extended because it's not just, you know, a 20-minute run down the mountain. It's 2.5 hours to your next tank of gas.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like it's just a time where you can actually be at peace. I don't know about you, but my mind goes a million miles a minute. And especially living in the city, I'm constantly thinking of all the things I need to do or should have done or have to clean or whatever, or, you know, it never stops. Like, I feel like I get so overwhelmed with so much information all of the time. And when I ride, I'm just in nature and I am focusing on that and focusing on what I'm doing. And then all of a sudden 3 hours have gone by, you know, and I realize that I've just been in this place of zen. Like, that's, you know, it's the only word I can think of. It is just total bliss almost.
I had a weird experience on my first long motorcycle ride. I had left Portland and I was on my way to Fossil, and we had gone the really twisty way over Mount Hood.
Yeah, I know
through
that
Maupin.
way. That's my favorite.
We went Bake Oven Road out to Shaniko, through Antelope, and we were somewhere in the Clarno unit, and we had a straight stretch that we were going down. We were close to 100 miles an hour going down the straight stretch, and my mind started spinning about what was going on with my motorcycle, about like, you know, how the clutch works and how the power transfers and what am I doing with my hands, what am I doing with my body, and I kind of got stuck in that thought process as I was flying up to a 10-mile-an-hour corner at 100 miles an hour, and I'm like screaming at myself in my head. I'm like, stop thinking about it and do it. And you know, I'm looking at this like 360-degree just panoramic view in front of me that launches off into the abyss with no guardrail. And in the last second, I managed to get the bike shut down. And I forced it around the corner. And, you know, pulled over like another, you know, 40, 50 feet down the road. I was just like, I need to take a fucking break.
What did I do?
Drink some water, smoke a cigarette. Yeah, that was the only time where I got wrapped up in that kind of thought process. But I've kept that clear, and now it's more of that, like, just paying attention to the road and me instead of what the motorcycle's doing. Because you can't think about that.
No, I can't. I cannot go there.
There's so many things that could be going wrong underneath you.
It's like when you think about you're like, everything inside of my body, how does it work? You
right?
know, then you start to freak out. You're like, am I breathing right? Am I actually breathing? I don't know.
Yeah, is my heart beating right now? I know that's important. What makes my heart beat? Oh, that's that part of my brain. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and then you start to go down a wormhole.
Yep.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's why I don't smoke weed anymore. When I smoke weed, that's where I get stuck. I get stuck in these circular logic patterns, and I just like spiral around on stupid shit that I shouldn't worry about. Yeah, so
that's really funny.
Yeah, Anybody playing the drinking game, just to let you know, I fucking drank enough for everybody this weekend, so I'm out of it this game. Sammy though, she's drinking, so you can make a guess at that. Have you had a chance to listen to any of the other episodes yet?
Mm-mm.
So we have a drinking game. People
you guess.
Yeah, people have to guess
drinking.
how many drinks you had.
Oh, okay.
So she's drinking whiskey. I'll give you that much.
Okay.
Because we're always drinking fucking whiskey.
There's other things too. Sometimes I have my mom days. That's Ben and I's Monopolova days.
Oh yeah. I've put down some
dirty
Monopolova
martinis.
Nice. Good choice.
God.
I like mono with just a muddled lime or a muddled cucumber.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Ben does cranberry juice. So that cranberry
juice and a little bit of lime.
Yeah, Cape Cods.
Cape Cods. Yeah.
Cranberry, not too much cranberry, just enough to give it that little hint.
You're like the abused
Just
housewife
a kiss
over
of
there.
Cranberry.
You take a
Before it was wine.
and take a Valium with that, and
It
you'll have
was
the full
white wine.
1950s experience.
White wine, and I was like, I gotta at least be the divorced housewife. Suck it up with the mono.
Fucking squirrely Ben, the divorced housewife, drinking his Cape Cods. Love it. It's a great. I got to see that one of these days, for sure.
The mono drunk squirrel.
Ben should lead a ride to Cape Cod where we all celebrate.
Yes. Oh, you know what?
With his signature drink.
That's a long ride, but what I would like to do is let's do Cape Disappointment.
Oh yeah, that's even better.
And so we'll do a slight modification on your drink. And
your
instead of
drink
drinking
is
Cape
disappointing.
we'll call it Disappointment.
And you know my back, right?
No. So
Ben's taking his shirt
taking
off
his shirt
for
off.
us.
Oh, he's got this lighthouse with fucking eagles and lightning and shit.
This is
Yeah.
Cape Disappointment on my back.
Oh, that's Cape Disappointment?
I want to plan my buddy Hawk that did this. We've been talking about planning a ride from Portland to there. I'm going to take my shirt off. We're going to take photos of my back of the lighthouse that he tattooed. So Hawk at Sovereign Tattoo did my entire back in 6 years.
It's a good looking piece.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so
Pretty epic.
there's going to be him and I were going to ride out to Cape Disappointment in celebration of finishing my back.
okay. So we're going to do that.
Yeah.
That's going to happen. So anybody out there listening that wants to get in on that ride, are you cool with a bunch of people tagging along? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's try to plan that out and let's make that happen because that would be a fucking kick-ass ride.
Be
I
fun
would
to do a
that.
camping trip party thing or something.
And we can go. We can camp out at Southwestern.
Yeah.
Oh, the Southwester, yeah.
Yeah, Southwestern.
My favorite
They
place.
have. I think you can even tent camp there too.
We'll figure all that out.
Yeah. Figure it out.
You're coming through real low on the mic, so people are going to be really confused. So we're going to get back to Sammy. I'm going to interview you depending on how long Sammy and I are on this. We'll either interview you today or next week or something, get you on here.
Sweet.
Yeah. Let's see. So Cape Cods at home, drinking the Monopolova.
Try not to.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been drinking too much lately. I've had a lot going on doing the podcast. Not to give too many clues, but I've been through over a fifth of whiskey on each one of the podcasts that we've done, and they're about 2.5, 3 hours each. So this week, I'm just like, I'm not doing it to myself.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to be good.
I got work to do tomorrow. Gotta get my fucking ass up. Yeah.
It's also hard when it's sad outside. It's like gray and dark, and I don't know. I've been listening to a lot of Nick Cave.
Oh, yeah. I fucking love Nick Cave.
Me too, but it makes me drink. I feel like he makes me drink.
You ever watch Peaky Blinders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really stoked that they had Red Right Hand as the theme song until I got to like the 5th episode, and I was like, oh, okay. Because you're a little young. You never went to any of the goth dance nights around Portland, did you?
I did. My dad would take me when I was little.
Oh,
He would
yeah?
sneak me and my brother and I in. Yeah.
So like Embers on Wednesday nights,
Yep.
you can set your watch to it. You'd go in there and you'd be like, Red Right Hand would come on. You'd be like, oh fuck, it's 11:15. And then Skinny Puppy would come on at like 1:30 in the morning. It's like, oh yeah, Warlock. It's like 1:30 in the morning.
It's time to go.
Yeah.
Or keep partying.
I miss those days. Portland in the late 90s, early 2000s was a kick.
A dream.
There's so much good shit going on.
Mm-hmm.
I miss it. It's different now.
It's different, yeah.
Yeah. Portland's still a cool place, but it's a lot different. We got to get out there and fight and get that old Portland vibe back into these new Californians that live here.
Yeah, it's weird. I feel like the building I live in are one of the last Portland little relics that I have. We're always getting into trouble.
Nice. It was like that in my building for a
Yeah.
long time. I've been in my building for 10 years, and we used to, pile out into the parking lot and have barbecues, and everybody would drink wine and have a great time. That doesn't happen anymore.
That's pretty much us. They built a new condo all around our building, which is really funny, and the windows of all the apartments look into our parking lot, essentially, which is just like 10 motorcycles, Ben strung bones around to keep people away from the motorcycles.
That's some good videos.
Yeah, but I feel like we're always out there with fires.
Tell the story when we changed, you and I, but you did a lot of work too. Your battery when we got your bike started.
Oh yeah, Ben and I recently fixed my battery and headlight. We got the bike started, and I was revving it super hard, and so I was pretty excited. And our other neighbors were having a big bonfire, and they were pretty toasted, eating ribs with some of them had their shirts off, and I was riding around that whole thing while the neighbors in their nice condos like stood in the window and just shook their heads. yeah, but I just feel like they I don't know what they think of us, but
we're disappointed with your fun and freedom.
I hope that they're like, that looks like old Portland. I wonder, that seems kind of fun. Maybe I should come down and try it.
Right?
Yeah, I hope so. Really do.
Maybe we need to make some badges for like the old school people that have been here for a while. It's be like, I'm old Portland. Come hang out.
Come hang out. I still believe in house shows.
Come find out how this shit really is.
Yeah.
And we'll go to City Liquidators, and then we'll go to the Elvis Room.
Yeah. And then we'll go to a house show.
Yeah. Like, house parties were, man.
Yeah. What happened to doom metal house shows? That's what I want to know.
I mean, I'm sure they're out there, but it's not like it was. There used to be flyers on every corner for house shows.
Yeah, now it's not the same.
No,
we got to bring that back.
All the flyers that I see now are just like, we'll buy your home no matter what you want for it. We'll sell you a house no matter what your budget. I'm fucking so tired of it.
It's crazy. Yeah, you probably remember more than I do.
I mean,
I was just a kid.
Yeah, I moved here when I was 19, 20.
Okay.
No, 20. I turned 21 here. So, yeah, I've been here 22 years. So, not my whole life. But I used to come up here for shows when I started. Yeah. God, my parents listen to this. I used to sneak up here for shows when I was 14. Okay. And my parents thought that I was just staying at a friend's house. And we would rip up here, and we'd watch a punk rock show, and then we'd turn around and go back down to Coos Bay. 8 hours of drive time, 3 o'clock in the morning, just barreling down I-5 as fast as we can, just hoping that none of our parents called each other.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but I did a lot of that. Portland was a totally different spot then. The all you people in the Pearl District paying a bunch of money to live down there, that was Heroin Alley. That was like the worst of the worst.
Also had the best warehouse parties, though.
Yeah, there was some good shit that went on there, for sure. Yeah. That was like the 90s rave scene all around there.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, good times. In the industrial district off of Highway 30, I went to a couple of raves in those buildings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Those were good times.
The Gasco building, is that what it's gone now?
Yeah.
I wish someone would have thrown a party in there.
That would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all would have died.
Was that the stone building over by...
that was the really creepy, like, Addams Family looking epic building.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Right on the river next to the St. John's Bridge.
I always wanted to buy that.
Yeah, we all had dreams of it.
There's that other mansion I always ride by, too, off of the 30. It's... God, what is it? It's huge. It used to be like a hotel or something. It's massive, and
on the other side of Linton or on this side?
It's past Linton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that place is haunted as fuck.
What is it? It's what I want to know. It's for sale, the big building. I noticed they're adding windows and stuff to it.
Yeah, it's up for sale again. This is like the 4th or 5th time that it's been up for sale. Everybody buys it. They remodel it a little bit. They freak out. They put it back up for sale.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on with it, but
it's huge, and it's so scary.
It wasn't that much money, if I remember right, for this area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want it.
Yeah, it's cool.
I've ridden up to it. There was some crazy guy that wouldn't let me. He kicked me out. I was trying to take pictures of it. He was drunk and scary, but yeah, no, it seems cool.
Have you ever heard of the Temple of Anubis?
No.
It's one of those hidden places that's in Oregon. You can kind of research it, but when you pull up to the gate, there's these like Egyptian statues that are watching you, and there's cameras all over the place. And if you stay at the gate too long, and people walk down with like Secret Service style
Where
suits.
is it?
I don't remember exactly. We'll look it up when we take a break.
Okay.
Which, we're at like almost an hour now,
Cool.
so we're pretty good on taking a break if you're ready for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
do it.
We'll take a break, and then Sammy and I will come back, and we will find out the answer to her
Temple
death
of
row
Anubis.
motorcycle and her opinion about the Anubis play. Let's
Okay.
get back to it.
Okay.
Mics are hot.
All right. Cool.
So we left off. Have you thought about your dream motorcycle?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's actually my bike.
Yeah?
Yeah. Once it's finished, that would be my dream bike.
Yeah, Chopper 1200 Sporty.
Yep. Since
Nice.
since I was a little kid, I wanted a Harley Davidson. I wanted a chopped bike. I wanted to get an Ironhead, but then I actually rode one and was like, "Oh, this is not a good touring bike."
They're not good bikes.
No.
They're fun. They're loud. They're
Yeah.
obnoxious.
But then I ended up magically getting mine, and I've just put so many miles on her, and I love her so much. And to see her in this, in the way my imagination has seen her, would be perfect. It would be
Nice.
so perfect. Yeah.
Are you collecting source material for what you want it to look like?
Yeah, and I've actually drawn a picture of what I would like.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
I think that's what you need to do is spend time with it and really look at what you want the final product to look like.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to think about another bike when I love this one so much. And people ask me, "Oh, it's just such a simple thing. Like, it's such a simple bike. How could you not want something more?" And it's like, I don't know. I've spent the time with this one. It's like,
You don't need more.
no.
Yeah.
It's like my horse. It's what I love.
No, I get it totally.
Think about it.
Yeah, when I started building, my dream Harley as it
Yeah.
was, I grew up working on motorcycles with my dad.
Okay.
And when I was in my late teens, he started building this hot rod Softail.
Okay.
And 80 cubic inch motor. It was stock, and
Yeah.
he did a lot of work to it. Got it up into like maybe the high 90, low 100 horsepower range.
Yeah.
And that bike at the time was fucking fast. Like,
Yeah.
it was ridiculous. And I remember like thinking, one of these days I'm going to come back down here with a bike that's faster than his, and I'm going to kick his ass.
Yeah.
And so I started like dreaming about this Dyna that I wanted to build. And I went down there, and we've ridden against each other now. And
Yeah.
he sees me launch off of something, and he's like, that bike's a fucking monster. He's like, that bike is fast.
Yeah.
So that was like goal achieved.
That's how I feel. Like, I don't know. I remember being so young and thinking I could never do this. Like, I could never ride, and I would never get to this point where I would have a Harley. I had been told so many times that I would die or I wouldn't. I couldn't ride.
I hate that shit.
I hate that shit, and it
Yeah.
only made me want to do it more. But if I mean, just going back to being like 16 when I had the vision to now, I'm so proud and so excited to even take it a step further and a step further and a step further. It just feels like these like milestones,
Yeah,
But-
there's definitely landmarks
Yeah.
and milestones through this journey of learning to ride motorcycles and becoming proficient with a motorcycle.
And then being able to share that too, and so other people can, because I wouldn't have been able to do it if I didn't see other girls riding or other people riding, like other people actually like living and doing it. And I want to be that too, where I can like say, hey, look, I was in that place, like I didn't believe it, and I had so many people put me down for it, but you can do this, you can make it happen. You just have to follow your heart.
There's a lot of negativity out there, and I get it a lot. In all different aspects of my life, it seems like every time you get a dream and you get excited about it, somebody has to try and shut you down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And thankfully, motorcycle riding was one of those things that nobody could shut me down on.
Yeah.
They'd be like, you're going to die. And I was fucking depressed at the time.
Yeah.
I was ready to just check out. So somebody telling me that a motorcycle is going to kill me, I was like, fucking great.
Whatever.
Let's do that. So
Yeah.
I started riding motorcycles again. And I was like, maybe this will kill me. And then after a couple of long rides, I was like, I want to live forever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I want to do this every day.
I tell you, it's therapy. It's total therapy, man.
It's absolute therapy. And that seems to be a common theme. John Gardner said it. Adam Alexi has said it. I've said it multiple times.
Yeah.
And a lot of people in the community, they felt like this thing in their life was missing. They couldn't put a finger on it. And then the first time they rode a motorcycle, it was filling those gaps.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's the machine. I mean, the machine's... it's a tool to get you there, for sure. But I think that as individuals, there's something from our roots in our genetic code from back in the days when we were nomadic tribes that needs the hunt, it needs the voyage, it needs the destination.
Yeah.
And motorcycles serve all of that. As far as the hunt, like for me, it's whenever I see a motorcycle off in the distance, I imagine myself being a fighter pilot, and barreling down on that person.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when I finally pass them, it's like shooting them down. I buzz by them.
I have the same thing.
Yeah, okay, so it's not that bad. I always felt bad about it.
No, I'm like, I'm Luke Skywalker, dude. I'm fucking like,
I'm in that shit.
I am going through the Death Star, and I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's a
amazing.
good feeling.
And it also, I feel like so many of us in the community are like a bunch of misfits, and we're just weirdos. But I don't know, motorcycling gives us a space to like hang out and meet each other and be weird together, which I really love.
And it's a lot of people have this vision of like the gruff, hard to get to know biker. And in my experience, I've talked to band geeks. That have started riding motorcycles and found themselves through it. And I've talked to people that were religious zealots. Who have come around to just being normal community people. And just it's huge, it seems to fit any aspect. And there's a bike for every personality type too. You can always get a sport bike with an extended swing arm that can't go around a corner if you're that bro guy that needs to smoke his tire and spend money.
Let off some steam,
Yeah, it's out there.
You can swing your dick a little bit. It's
right?
called dick swinging. It's so true though.
It is. It's absolutely true.
It's fun though.
I think that's a lot of the shit on why some areas don't have a good motorcycle culture is because of the dick swinging.
Yeah.
It's like nobody can just man up and be like yeah, man, you got me.
Yeah.
But that's kind of why we give each other shit too.
And I feel like a lot of us aren't that scary. We're just like really emotional and weird.
Yeah, totally. And we know how to have a good time.
Yeah.
But being on the road for a long period of time when you're covered in dirt, your hair's all fucked up.
You get gross.
You're covered in bugs, and you walk in and you look like something otherworldly.
Yeah.
You're not what that person's used to seeing.
My last ride, I rode like 9.5 hours straight, and I pulled into an In-N-Out burger. And I didn't realize how disgusting I was. Like, I truly disgusting. I hadn't showered in, like, probably 3 or 4 days. And the whole restaurant, In-N-Out Burgers restaurant, they just stopped. Like, everyone stopped and looked at me. And I like, sat down and ate my cheeseburger. And then I went to the bathroom and looked at myself. And there was just, like... There was ketchup all over my face, but so much dirt, and there were bugs. Like, I had dead butterflies all over me, just like, because I went through Mount Hood, and there was that weird time of the year where there's like a shit ton of butterflies, and it killed so many.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I've got video of that. I had camped at Hideaway Lake, and we got up early in the morning and got on the bike, and the sun was just starting to come up, and the pavement was starting to warm up, and there was just these little specks on the road, and as I drove through them, they started lighting up. It was just millions and millions of butterflies. When I took apart my bike to do an engine rebuild, and I found butterflies underneath the dashboard. I found butterflies like wedged in the air intake, like just butterflies fucking everywhere.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's still some on there somewhere.
Oh yeah, I have a couple pairs of earrings because I actually make like butterfly jewelry. But a lot of the earrings and stuff that I have made are from the butterflies I've killed.
Oh, nice.
On my trips, because I felt so bad. I'm like, I have to do something with their wings. They're so pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple of things that are in my personal collection at home that are just things that I've accidentally killed on my motorcycle. The other one that's weird is like going through eastern Oregon when it's first starting to get warm and the rattlesnakes are out on the road, just like stretched out, and you think it's just a crack in the pavement until you go over it and like, oh shit.
That's my biggest fear, is snakes.
Yeah, boots. Yeah. Wear boots.
Always.
Yeah.
I need to get some high boots. Close calls.
Yeah, man, the snakes are creepy.
It's not my jam. I'm more scared of snakes than anything else in the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully there's nothing like over on this side that can get you. But you get out in eastern Oregon, there's some venomous stuff out there.
Yeah, I always have anti-venom. I bought some in Mexico.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not messing around. I got a full first aid kit, dude. I'm serious about that.
I just went through the Stop the Bleed training for trauma injuries.
Oh, cool.
So I'm working on putting together a trauma pack for my bike.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I learned how to do tourniquets. I learned how to do like deep puncture wounds and
Whoa.
all sorts of stuff. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm definitely riding with you.
Right? Yeah, I'm the only person, aside from the chase truck, I think I'm the only person that I know on the Oregon run that has a med kit. Like, and I don't put it inside of any of my bags. I strap it to the outside of everything so I can get to it while I'm riding. Yeah, just like be able to just pop it off and go.
Wow, that's super cool. Okay, now I want to go. Now I feel good.
I got the Stop the Bleed training for free. They were doing it at Latest Motors.
Oh, cool.
And I went over there, and it was a really great turnout. There was probably 50, 75 people there.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really good. So if you keep your eye open, like there's places that do that for free, and you can take the certification online too. But it's nice to be able to sit in a class and learn. Actually touch the materials. Like yeah.
Hopefully I won't be one of those people who just throws up, though, in that situation, you know? I'm like, oh, my God, you're fine.
The big thing is just keep pressure on it. You know,
yeah,
puke in it, slap a handkerchief over it, put pressure on it. They'll pump them full of antibiotics when they get there.
Yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be okay.
That's awesome.
It's been fun. Yeah. The motorcycle adventure has been a great turning point in my life, I think.
Yeah, me too. It's changed everything. I'm excited to keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully keep living. Yeah. That's the goal.
That's the goal. Go fast, don't die.
Don't die.
Yeah, right now I'm at that phase where I'm like gray beard or death. It's like, if once my whole beard turns gray, it'll be an achievement.
Yeah.
But I just got like half of it now. But yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah, me too. My beard's
growing. your beard's huge.
I'm getting the white hairs, though. I'm getting a couple.
Are they starting to poke through?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was proud of mine.
Yeah.
You know, it's a life well lived.
I always wanted the squirt if you have, it's like that. I think if you get bit by a certain scorpion or something, you get that like one.
Yeah, you get that stripe.
Yeah, the stripe, or like struck by lightning. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We should go find those scorpions and sell the venom on the internet. Make it a new fashion.
Just have like a ceremonial biting.
Yeah.
And then use your first aid kit.
Right. Like,
to not die.
You're not gonna die, but this part of your hair is gonna be a little weird from now on.
We'll start a gang where we'll all have the white stripe in our hair.
I keep thinking back to the Gremlins. There was Stripe the Gremlin that had the one.
Oh yeah. I forgot about that.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who I want to be.
Right? It was cool.
That's funny.
Sammy, I feel like my song is sung. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think.
All right. Well, we're gonna have you back when you get back from Vietnam.
Yeah, definitely.
It was fun having you here. If you have any other big stuff that comes up that you want to talk about, or you want us to talk about, just let us know.
Okay. Yeah. I'll keep you all posted on the trip. So
appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. Looking forward to having you back.
Yay.